Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's Writers Chat. And this is where we like to gather together as writers, talk about all things writing for writers and by writers, and share I think, a lot of the encouragement, this community to share, to continue to grow, to keep showing up to what God has called us to do, which is to write his story and share that story with others. So my name is Jean Wise. I'm one of your co-hosts there. And I'm joined today by Brandy and Johnny, and we have a special guest and a really fun topic to get into today. So I'm going to turn it over to Johnny because she has a special intro, I think, planned for our guest today. Johnny, take it away.
I don't know how special, but our guest is very special to me, Jillian Lancour. She is my daughter, and I'm just very, very excited to welcome her. She is the official bio, a wife, a mother, a Christian women's blogger and podcaster. She owns a Christian women's digital magazine called She Loves Holy. She Lives Holy. I knew I sort of had an accent going on there or something. Her tagline for ministry and her life is Christ over culture and obedience over feelings. I'm trying to think of these little stories I can tell of Jill, but I will tell you, this is kind of a family thing that the other two kids would say. Jill never gets in trouble because she makes mom laugh, and then mom forgets that she's supposed to be disciplining her for whatever it was that happened. So there's that. She makes the best brownies in the world, though she thinks we tell her that just so she'll be the one to make the brownies. But there is truth to it. Even if it's a box, when she does it, it comes out better than anybody else's. Bethany's saying facts in the in the chat because it is true. She loves cows, as you can see from the pictures behind her. There's more than that one in there. And yeah, she's not a farm girl. She's a real girl. So, and the wonderful mom to my two lovely granddaughters. So, yeah. Take it away, Miss Jill. Pumpkin Jill, sometimes I call her.
Pumpkin Jill. Well, and it fits because I'm wearing orange today. Yes, I love cows. I know it's weird. I hid it forever because I was so embarrassed that cows were my favorite animals. So when people would ask me, I would be like, oh, what's your favorite animal? I would be like, a dolphin. And in my head, I'd be like, cow. But now I just own it.
Their personalities or something.
So thank you. Yes, thank you for having me. I'm excited. Oh, koala bears. Aw, they can be scary though, I think too. I've seen some scary koala bear pictures. But cows, I think, can be scary too. Someone told me a weird statistic about so many people die from cows every year, and I was like, how?
Tip them over, and then they tip them. You could tip them out.
Yeah, I just think they're so cute. People will blow dry cows, and then their hair is just so okay. This is not about the cows. Sorry, Mom.
You could do an Instagram page on cows. There you go.
Yes, Bethany, I'll show you. I do follow some cow Instagram pages. So you can have an Instagram page about anything. So no excuses, right? But no, in all seriousness, thank you for having me. I'm so proud of you ladies. Number one, you guys have been doing this for so long, and I just love it. I think number one, consistency is so huge, as you guys know that by having this show and doing it. I mean, for how many years? A while.
7, yeah, 8.
So I just want to say first, thank you for having me on, and two, I'm really proud of you ladies. You also put makeup on horses when you were preparing for a show. Oh, okay. That we could talk. Maybe the after show could be about that.
Farm animals everywhere.
Yes. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about the basics of Instagram, which really there's so much we could go into about this platform. But I tried to make it as simple as possible. And then I asked my mom if it would be okay after we get through it to open it up to questions in case you guys wanted to ask a specific question about your own Instagram or just in general. So we're just going to start from setup. Now, I don't think I need to go through the the setup of like download the app. But if you don't know, download the app, set up your account, make sure that your username is, as if you can get it, the same username across all social media platforms, or as close to, if you can't get your name, or maybe your brand name has already been taken, do something that's very close, because people are going to search for you and you're going to want you to be found easily. But you also have, I'm hoping that I was hoping the lighting would be okay. So this, I'm going to use my page as examples. So you have your username. So my username is With Love Jillian, which works because that's my blog name, my podcast name, and that's where you can find me on all platforms. But then you have a space here for your name, which you can put your name. So like it says Jill Lancour. So people can find me in the search by either Jill Lancour or my username. So the big thing about that is you want to be consistent over all the platforms. For instance, Facebook, I couldn't get With Love Jillian. So my Facebook username is With Love Jillian Official. Now, if you start typing in With Love Jillian, it will pop up because there's really nothing else. So when you're setting up your Instagram, and you can change, I think you can change your username twice every 14 days or something. So don't, if you're good, like really know what you're going to change it to. Actually, I think I'm wrong about that. I think it's your name that you can only change twice every 14 days. And your username maybe you can do that, but that doesn't matter. Get your username, make sure it's consistent. You're going to be able to have a personal account, a business account, or a creator account. And for you ladies as authors and writing, and if you have blogs or a podcast, I would definitely say to use the creator option. It's just going to give you some insights into your analytics. It's going to let you see how your posts are doing, who your target audience is, like who's actually looking at your posts. Not specifically, it's not going to say like Johnny Alexander looked at my Instagram, but it will say like the age range, the most of it'll say like most times viewed, so you can know my posts are viewed mostly on Tuesdays at 2:00, and so then you can know like, okay, I should post at that time. So that's why it's really good to have a business or a creator account, so that you can see the analytics of how your profile is growing and what you need to work on. For your profile pic, it's really important to make sure that you have your headshot or your logo. Again, something that is clear about who you are, what you're promoting. So if it's a podcast that your Instagram is for, then it's your podcast logo. But if whatever your headshot is or your logo, make sure it's the same consistently across the board, because if someone's following you on Twitter and then they want to find you on Instagram, if your Twitter profile picture is a logo, but then you have a picture of you and a cat or a dog, they may not know what you look like. They may not know it's you. I mean, there are people who have the same names. So I would just be clear to have your profile picture be exactly for your audience. And that's the other thing I definitely want to promote mostly during this class, is that your Instagram needs to be for your audience. It's about your audience. Now, if you have a personal Instagram, that's totally different. You can post whatever you want with no consistency, no rhyme or reason. But if this is for a professional account, for your books, for being an author, for your brand, you need to make it about your audience. And so your profile picture needs to be consistent across your social media platforms. Also, let me see, I wrote a whole list of things to like talk about. Okay, so we'll move on to your bio. So let me show you guys again, just in case someone is like, I've never even got Instagram. So Instagram is, I mean, it really is an amazing platform. I've loved this platform for years, and it just continues to grow. Instagram is not going to let TikTok or Snapchat or anybody be cooler than them. So they are constantly updating things. They are constantly making sure that they are the front runners of videos, of sharing stories, of sharing content. So this is my profile page. So you have your profile picture here. You're going to have how many posts you've posted, your follower count, meaning how many people follow you, and then how many people you follow. You have your name. And then right under that, if you can see, it says community. You're going to be able to choose what your account falls under. So I have a podcast, so I could put podcast there. It could say blogger there. Your guys's could say author, writer, a figure, whatever you are. And it just kind of brands you a little easier. I chose community because mine is a women's ministry. And so it's for Christian women. And then right under there is your bio. And the bio is really, really important. So it's funny because I used to change my bio all the time. Like, what you doing on Friday night, Jill? Changing my bio. But I found something that fits and I haven't changed it in a while. So it can be very tasking to write a bio, which sounds silly, right? Because don't we love to talk about ourselves? Isn't that kind of the problem? We love ourselves, but it's hard. It's hard to sometimes narrow down what in just a few sentences, what you want someone to know about you and know about your brand and know about what you offer in just split seconds, in a few sentences. So take time to get it right. Yeah, I mean, tweak it, definitely work it, write down words that maybe like blog, ministry, books, Christian, anything like all these words, and then maybe come up with some sentences. Ask people who know you, ask people who you know would be your target audience. Like, does this sound like something you would follow? And then write it up, and then you're going to put it in there. And you only have so many characters, so you really do have to get it right. But it needs to be about your audience. So some suggestions are to share what should someone be expecting from following you. So again, I'm not an author, but so yours will look different than mine, but just as an example. So my first line says biblical truths for women maturing in Christ. And or in Jesus. That was really important because you want someone to know, is this page even for me? Like, is this my age range? Like, especially if you have a logo, some people may not know if are you for YA? Are you for youth? Are you for more mature audience? Like, who are you? What's your page? So you could say Christian books for women of all ages, or Christian fiction for, women who love Christ. Whatever it is, make sure that they know, like, oh, this is a space for me. Right under that, I have my tagline, which is Christ over culture, obedience over feelings. So if you have some kind of tagline that you use, or maybe it's some like on your blog, your little like, Mom, what's yours again? I'm sorry. Sounds so selfish.
No, it's fine. It's on my website. It's stories past and present, but on Instagram with you and Bethany's input, I have journey through stories past and present. Because I write both historical and contemporary.
Yes. So like that would be what my mom would put, because it's consistent through her blog. There are a lot of great guy accounts on Instagram. What, Bethany? I think she was a typo there. Okay. And then that right under there, so I have a Christian magazine. And so for a while there, I had, She Lives Holy magazine, $1.99. So to make sure people knew, but then I changed it to just a couple words that would just hit home that I really talk about on my Instagram and my platforms. So mine says the home, femininity, habits, arrow to God's glory. And and then right under there, I have, I'll talk about your link in a minute, but then I have like podcast arrow down. So people also know I have a podcast, and then it links right down to a link that they give you, and you can put your website in there. You can put a podcast episode, Amazon link, whatever you want. But I definitely suggest that you get something like Linktree or one of the websites that allows you to use their one link, but it opens up, I'll show you, to multiple links, and then they're really pretty. So if you click on the link in my bio, am I showing it, Mom? Okay. There's my picture, and then there's it's going to, I clicked something. It shows a bunch of links. So people can get to my podcast, my blog, my store, whatever you have available, multiple links in one link. So that's really what I suggest doing. I was going to say, if you went back in time, and I think it was like in 2017, I think I talked on Writer's Chat about Instagram, it would probably be a very different tune, even though it's me, because before I was so who doesn't want followers, right? You think followers equates to validation, like, oh, if I have a ton of followers, I'm making it. That's not always true. And as I've grown and as I've definitely matured in Christ and focused more on him than my own self and successes with social media, like, everything we do, 1 Corinthians 10:31 says, like, whether you eat, you drink, whatever you do it for the glory of God. And so, like, that I really think needs to be the main focus of why we do anything with our books. But even with social media, do it for God's glory. Don't worry about the numbers, because that is going to just have you focus, number one, on the wrong things. It's going to feel miserable instead of fun. And you want to grow a community, not numbers, because you could have all the followers on there, but if they're not actually reading your books, if they're not actually invested in what the ministry is, or in connecting or sharing, and I don't say that to say like you use your followers. I always say like if you have a following, they're more of your family, they're more of your community, they're your friends, they're your sisters, even though they're strangers. You guys are building something together. So that's just my encouragement. But if you listened to me some years ago, I would have been like, oh, followers, numbers, focus on this, and now I'm like, listen, just do it for God's glory, because if he wills it, it will happen. And a huge following does not mean validation. It doesn't mean that God is either blessing you or not blessing you. So have fun with creating content, have fun with this, have fun sharing, and do it for his glory, not for self. Okay. So back to the bio, I'm just going to reiterate, make it about your audience. What should they expect? What are you offering? You can put something personal in there, and then definitely use that link. And that's really important. Okay, so this is where it gets like, I feel like it can get really confusing because there's so many little things that Instagram offers and that you can use on your profile. So I'm just going to go slow. Okay, so if you click this little plus sign on your Instagram bio, you can add a post, a reel, a story highlight. You can go live. There it is. So a post would be what gets put in this. Okay. I used to teach something called Content 6. I know my sister definitely has taught that too. I don't really follow that anymore. I just, like when you stop making it about yourself and you make it about others, that stuff doesn't seem to be as important anymore. And I know that that may sound like contradictory, but it just doesn't. So I don't really follow a theme. I just, when you have something encouraging to say, or you want to share your book, or something from a book, whether it's fiction or not fiction, you can make them into quotes. You can share your desk. You can, whatever your content is, just share it. Don't worry about, oh no, I have 2 pictures of my dogs next to each other. Don't worry about that stuff. And again, that's not what I said some years ago, but I'm telling you now, I want you to enjoy being on social media and not worry so much about getting it perfect. It just causes stress. And we don't need the stress. So stick to what you're offering your audience, but don't worry about that kind of stuff. So that's what posts are. Now there's something called stories. So if you click the plus sign and you go to story, you can add from your camera roll stuff you already have in there, or you can click camera, and you can record a new story. And a story goes into right under here. So I just clicked my profile image. So it's kind of like, this is the permanent stuff that stays for everyone to see. And then your story disappears in 24 hours. So it's just like extra content you can share. You can also share other people's content in your stories. So like I share a lot of like to remind my followers, like, oh, I posted something, you can do that. We have an event going on, so I tell them that. And it's really fun, yeah, because they can give you little hearts. I got dollar strawberries from the grocery store because they got too many. So I was sharing that was such a blessing to our family. So you can share quotes. You can share so much. Oh yeah. That was what we have an Enneagram conference going on, which is exposing the Enneagram. And so look, I made this whole thing about my face, like, ooh. So like you can make it so fun. You're just sharing extra content with your followers.
Question, can you save stories as posts?
No. You can save them in a highlight. So it won't save the story down here in post, but that's what these colorful little buttons are. And you can make those anything you want. They could be pictures of your kids. I just choose colors just because I like branding. So like for instance, Chef Mama. So this is a story I posted 68 weeks ago, but instead of it disappearing, it all stays like saved somewhere else, and then you can add it to a highlight. So this is just like sharing cooking meals. Remember all these meals, Mama? So I have one like that. There's one on marriage. So little things that you share in your stories, you can then share so that it's just like another space for content. Like here, I have a whole thing just of Charles Spurgeon quotes, like, so it's just extra content. But again, this is from your stories. They'll disappear from this in 24 hours, but you can save them here. And then they're like topical. So it's like, it just gives you all this more space to have someone say, oh, she talks about mothering. She talks about Charles Spurgeon, like that's not in my bio. You wouldn't know that unless you were really looking at my content, which takes a long time. So you can just scroll through the highlights. That's what this is called, highlights. And know more of what someone may be into or what they share or what they talk about. The other thing I bet Jill has a cat. I don't. Again, like trust me, if this was a private or like a personal Instagram account, I would have the cow stuff, but since it's for a community of women, I don't think they're into the cows. So so that was stories is up here, and again you can post all these things through this plus sign button. Highlights is the savings, like the permanent savings of your stories, because they will disappear after 24 hours up here, but you can save them down here. And then you have reels, which is Instagram's way of how do you save to highlights? Okay, good question. Okay, let's use this. This is a reel. So see down right there, it says highlight with a heart. You would just click that button and all my highlights come up, and it'll say add to highlight. And if you want to make a new one, you just push add new, and then I could put like coffee, whatever you want to call it, and then add. and it will add there. And then you can go to edit highlight, and then you can change what these colors and these buttons look like. And
Do you have to save it before it disappears in 24 hours?
you can, no. Okay, that's a great question. Okay, so let's go to my Chef Mama one. If you go to more down here, so like you open up a highlight, you go to more, edit highlight. All of your stories are saved right here, even though they're not saved anymore for people to see. They're saved for you to go back and look at. Like you can go back years and then add specific ones to a specific highlight. So like, I mean, that was from Sunday. Like, look at Mom's cute little side ponytail. But you can go back, I mean, months to years and add. So that's how you do it. Just click on a highlight, edit highlight. Reels is Instagram's way to say, TikTok, you're not going to take over. So they came up with something that's different than video. I think still on Instagram, Bethany, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's still 15 minutes that you can have total on a video. But for Reels, it's up to 60 seconds. So these are just quick videos, but they can make your account grow. It's so much fun. I'm a little obsessed with Reels. So when you look at the bar here, that looks like a crazy eye. You have like the multiple squares, which is just your posts. This little button that looks like a movie thing, that's Reels. Here's a video, which again is different. And then this one is for pictures that people have tagged of you that are then saved. So if you click that, you can see if someone has posted a picture of you or maybe of your book, they'll tag you in it and it will go in that one. There's also a way in settings to control the tag post. So if you want to monitor who's tagging you in posts, you can do that, and it won't just post on your page. But if you go to Reels, which is like the movie one, these are Reels. So oh boy. Okay, this will be a good one. Let me turn it up so you guys can hear. It's just quick. So we threw my youngest daughter wanted to throw her baby doll birthday party. So we did. So this is her little reel. And it's basically just like to music, or you can do voiceover and just write something encouraging, or you can share something. My sister, when she does ones of sharing her sons, my nephews, they're the funniest things on the planet. I mean, I love them. And that is, again, one way to get people to come to your account, to share content. It's just super fun. And again, if you click the plus button up here, and click reel, it'll create a reel. And then it's just open camera. You can down here add from your camera roll, so you can pre-record something and then just mess around with the audio. You can add music. All the buttons will be at the top. You can add filters. It's really fun. And again, Instagram kind of rewards you for posting reels. Like, it's just really good engagement for your account. Okay, so they also have a new feature where you can pin posts to the top 3. I only did one, but now like this picture will always be pinned. And that's nice too, because if you have a book coming out or maybe a podcast episode for that week, you can pin it right there. So that's the first thing people will always see. And you can just click on the picture, click on the dots at the top, and it will say pin to profile. And you just pin to profile and it will stay there until you unpin it. Again, what to post. This again is for your audience. So as authors, this is for people who love your books, who want to buy your books, who want to know you as a person, kind of get behind the scenes of the author. So it's really up to you. If you want to create like the content 6 thing to keep yourself in order that's totally great. I just don't want it to seem so perfection focused that it loses its fun, and that it seems so time consuming that it seems like you're doing it for the wrong reasons, or you're what's the word? I can't think of the word right now, but you're not doing something you should be doing because you're focused on doing this. So neglect, that's what the word I was looking for. You don't want to neglect priorities because you're so worried about Instagram looking perfect and being perfect. Like, no, just share. The biggest thing I think you can do is to be consistent and show up. Well, here's the thing. I love branding. And so because it's a love of mine, I enjoy doing it. I enjoy getting on Canva and making my graphics, and they all do kind of look the same. And that's okay, because using that verse again, the 1 Corinthians 10:31 verse about doing everything we do for God's glory. God is a God of order, sin is what causes chaos. And so to give God glory, we should be doing our best. So don't be lazy with it, but I also don't want it to become a burden or take priority over writing. So don't focus on social media and then not be writing the book that you want to then promote on social media, So I post a lot of graphics and quotes as opposed to pictures because they're encouraging and because they're easy to share. People love that. So for you ladies who write fiction, definitely take cute little, quotes from your books. You already wrote them, and you can go on Canva, go on PicMonkey, go on these graphic creators, make different posts, and then just post those. You can also use Facebook Business Center to schedule posts, which is a whole other class for someone else to teach, because I don't do it. I just do it myself. But I know some more people who are a little bit more like that structure. That is really good for them. Okay, Canva has a schedule. Canva is amazing. I love Canva. I think it's definitely worth the premium. I use it for almost everything. So again, post what is for your audience, but have fun with it. Use hashtags. Hashtags are still a thing. There's an app which you do pay for, but it's not that much money. It's called, what is it called? Okay, Hashtag Expert. I kept seeing the ad for it, and I was like, I feel like they're lying to me, because it kept saying like, wow, like this will change everything for your Instagram. And then I got it and I was like, ooh. So it's called Hashtag Expert. This is what the logo looks like. It's a really cute pink thing. And it's so nice because okay, so those are the hashtags I've looked up. So let's say we do modesty, generate hashtags. That's what you click. And look, they just gave me 30 hashtags, all about different ones for modesty. Now, for that one, there's some stuff about Islam, because, so you want to scan through it and make sure that nothing is on there that you wouldn't want to be on there. But you also, let's do like Christian wife. You also have the option to hand pick hashtags, which will show you hundreds of hashtags. And then you can make your own list of ones that fit your brand. And then you just post it to Instagram. So it really has helped. It's been a time saver. I don't have to think about the hashtags. So use hashtags. I have a note, stay consistent. Your audience wants to know you're going to be there. They want to know, when they go on Instagram, that you're going to have something new for them. So how often should you post? There is a lot of people who say a lot of different things. I post multiple times a day. One, because of what my content is. It's a women's ministry. So there's always something you can say, we can't talk about God enough. But it just really depends for your audience, what you think is best, but definitely show up. Grow a community, not numbers. Treat them like family, not followers. Stick to your content, and make sure that you are networking. And when I say networking, I'm not meaning don't go into it wanting to use people so that your stuff will be seen or your stuff will be known, or, really connect with other people who are sharing the same things you are. Show them support, show them love, regardless of what they do for you. but that is one of the best things about social media. I've made such good friends being on Instagram, like real life friends. And so have fun with it. That's what I really, really want to encourage here. Do it for God's glory and have fun. That's really all I had. I hope it was basic and clear.
Oh, it was.
Thank you so much.
That'll start some questions, because I think there was some questions over there that we
Okay, good.
I have a question on Reels. Okay.
Yes.
It seems like to me some of the people that I see have longer than 60 seconds.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I thought it's.
No, I think it is 60, but are they doing, maybe they're doing video?
Yeah, I know video is like up to 15 minutes. So I haven't done a video in a while. And the last time I remember it was a 15-minute thing. And Bethany, is Reels longer than 60 seconds? It could be.
Can you just record something, and if it goes 120 seconds, it becomes 2 Reels? Does it?
No, you'll have it'll make
it'll tell you. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. It'll prompt you to splice it down. But you can do multiple videos in one reel. I mean, literally.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm seeing. It seems like some of the people that I follow a lady that's an organizational expert, and she'll get on and you see a little clip.
Yeah.
You're thinking these are reels, but they're not, maybe. I don't know.
Well, like sense of reel can be different. Like you can put like 10 videos into one reel as long as it doesn't go over 60 seconds. So like, like here's me making coffee, but it's different videos of making the coffee.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like that was pouring the coffee. Now there's a different one to put in a straw.
Yeah.
One reel. Yeah.
That's one reel. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Bethany has an interesting comment. She says, I believe my limit for video posts is 10 minutes, but they may give other accounts higher numbers, like Jill's at 15 minutes. Why is that?
I don't know about that. I don't want to contradict her, but I don't know if that's accurate. Let me try to post. Let me just see, like, well, I'd have to have a video. I don't know. Sorry.
That's just interesting, but it may be, something to do with their algorithms or whatever. So that is getting into more of a, into the weeds with it. I'm going to just give another little tip for which Bethany and Jill told me. I love the Meta Facebook scheduler thing, because that's what actually got me started redoing my Instagram account, though I have slacked off for about the last month because I was really in deadlines and not having time to do much of anything. But I love doing that. I love doing Canva. Then I could just shoot them into that scheduler and then didn't have to worry about it. But I made a hashtag lists and put them in a note.
Mm-hmm.
And on my Mac, I could just bring up that note, copy and paste, and then it was done. So it's like I was making my own little
I do that, Mama.
I could change them, sometimes like I would like change a few things in that, but I had my basic template for hashtags in notes, and I could just copy paste. So that was really, really, really helpful.
Good.
Sandra had I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm like taking over. She said, do you recommend Reels over stories? Do only your followers see your stories? I get more interaction on Reels and nothing on stories. So I think you need to do both. And anybody can look at them. So, make sure your profile is public. Again, this isn't your personal one. If you don't want to show kids or grandkids, make that on a personal page, but make sure it's public. But anybody can go to your stories and watch it, even if they're not following you. Same for Reels. Like I'll get more views on Reels than I do get views in stories, but both are important. Stories, I really do, like I talk to them like they're my friends, I say ladies, even though I know boys are not boys. Some men are watching them like brothers in Christ. I say, sisters or ladies, because I feel like those are like, that's your community. I don't know who's looking at my Reels, but it will show you who's looking at your story. It tells you, like if you click on the activity, it'll show you names and profiles. So you know exactly who's watching your stories. It doesn't do that with Reels.
Well, should we ask people to go ahead and come on, and then if anyone has a question,
Let's do that. I've had some luck with, and I'm trying to think what carousel, that's what it's called. Carousel, where you do multiple screens within one post,
Mhm.
right thing. But people kind of like that if you're talking to them. You know, it might be a, here's the quote of the day. This is what I thought. What do you think? Sort of thing. That seems to have had some 3 different posts, but it's within the
Yes.
same thing with a little arrow or something.
Yes, I have some friends who do that, and it's really nice to be able to share more in one post than trying to cram it all in one graphic or a caption. So yeah, I think that that's really, really smart.
Bethany's saying, back to my question, can I take those and save them as an MP4 and then post them as a reel? That's an interesting approach. I'm wondering if that's what I see these people doing, that, yeah, we could do it at MP4, because I've done that. And then just, you save that to your you save that to your photos and then just put it into a reel.
And then reels are really great because you can add music and like turn the music down and then add a voiceover. So like all the video will show, but you can talk over it or read a verse or whatever you're doing. And it's you can just be so creative with it. It's fun.
How do people add captions?
Oh, I would do that. Sometimes
is that on reels? Just captions?
Yes. There's like a little button to add like the music, to add stuff. They're all on the top. And I would add captions, and it does it for you. Because people sometimes, like, maybe they're somewhere. Yeah, Bethany. Sorry, your question just threw me off. Some people maybe are watching it like at work, like they shouldn't be watching it. And they want to read what you're saying because maybe they can't put sound on, or maybe you're not, maybe you have an accent or you say something weird. Like I realize that when I say, okay, I'm gonna say sit, S-I-T, every time in my reels, it spells it S-E-T, set. So I'm like, I gotta sit down, and they hear it as set. So like, you know, it's nice to have that so people know exactly what you're saying. And can you show us how to turn captions on? Yeah. Okay, so let's just pretend I'm making a reel. Let me go back.
Hit the thing at the top.
Yes, hit the little plus button, click reel. So there's my camera, and we're gonna record. Hi, ladies, everyone on Writer's Chat. Okay, so you could add more since you have 60 seconds, but I'm gonna click next. And then there's the video I just did, and see if you swipe, you can change the filters. This little button that has a smiley face is captions. Just click captions, and there it is. Hi, lady. See everything I said? There it is, right there. And you can change the font and the colors and where it goes on the screen. And then you just click next, and then you can edit the cover, which is what will show on your actual Instagram page. You can write a caption, and then this is where you can share it on your feed. You can tag people, you can share it on Facebook, you can add a location, and you just push okay, and it'll all save.
I think sometimes it just takes a lot of practice because I don't do stories. I think I've got like one story, and actually Jill may have done it and I saved it to mine. I don't even remember. But I see Bethany and Jill do it, and they can have a story or a reel, I'm not even for sure which, done in like seconds. I mean, or, you know, maybe it's a minute or two, but they're so familiar with it that they do it and it's done. And I would be like spending in half an hour, you know, going through it. So I think it does just take practice, you know, just practice.
It's like a fitty thing. Once you do it more and more, you get to know it and become familiar. And then it takes no time to just do it.
Yes. Yes, you have to play with it to get to that comfort level. I think that's true. Well, listen, if people come, please come on. And were you going to talk about what bonus reels? And you can do that
I wish she should come on here and talk about it because I really don't understand it. I don't know how they figure out how much money you get, but they started prompting me, Bethany, other people, I don't know if it's for all Instagram. I don't know if you have to have a certain amount of followers. So I don't have these answers. But they have something now called bonuses, where they're actually paying you for views on your reels. And so it's an incentive to use their app and to post, because you can make some money, which is awesome, especially if you're wanting to contribute to your family's income to earn money to do something you're already doing is a huge blessing. So that's something to look into. And if you go to, I think you have to have a, Bethany, am I right? Like you can't just have a personal account. You need to have like the creator account or business, or so make sure your settings are onto that. And then you can see if you're eligible for bonuses.
Yeah. And I think that they're releasing it slowly. So my recommendation is, if you did not get a notification from Instagram to be part of the bonus program, start playing around with reels so that your account can be kind of whatever algorithm they're using pulled in to be part of it. And the one thing that they're doing is the first reels that you do, I don't know if they bump them or boost them or whatever, but they want to make sure that people who even have smaller accounts or are micro influencers still can participate and make a certain amount of money in this. So they're not just only rewarding accounts that have a high engagement or high following. So you can, but there is a limit. I mean, Jill has a higher bonus reward possibility than I do. Probably because she has a much higher, Jill's engagement is crazy high on her account. And what was interesting when we were looking at the numbers together, she can earn more this month than I can. And so for me, that's like, okay, I'm really doubling down on that engagement thing. So I would say start doing reels, start building engagement. That's it. I'm done. Bye.
You can come on anytime, Bethany. You know that.
I'm done. Bye.
Well, it really is, because I was, it's one of those things, like you feel iffy. Like I was telling Mom, like they kept prompting me to do it. And I kept saying, not now, like, cause I don't know what that was, and I don't want to get into some weird contract with Instagram. But the more I looked into it, yeah, it's just such a blessing. Like if you're going to be able to get paid for something you're already doing, like do it. It's a blessing for my family for sure. So I'm really grateful for it.
Okay, I'm going to take over again. I pushed the home button. Okay, and look right at the top. There's Bethany Jet. There's a post of that. What are these little things at the top? Are people I follow, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I hit one of my recipe people, and she has this going, and it's page after page. Is that a reel or is that a video?
That's a story. So
That's a story. Okay.
Yes. So those are her stories. So exactly what Jeannie's showing you, when you go to home, let me go to home. All these people that you see are people that you follow. And if you click on them, like I'll click on my friend McLean's, that's her story. So she only had one post.
She would save that to her highlights.
Only if she wanted to.
If she wanted to. So she does this every day. So I imagine that's what she's doing. Okay, that's stories.
Yes.
Okay. That's where I'm getting confused with some of these people that do longer things. I'm seeing stories. Okay.
Yeah, because stories, you can record, on your story, you can record into like, they're 15 seconds, but I think it goes up until like maybe 4 or 5 15-second intervals, but it'll just keep recording. And then
that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
That's where I'm getting mixed up. And Dennis has a good question. Does Instagram work the same way on a laptop, or is it only best on your phone?
You can post from your laptop, but you can't post like stories and do that, but you can post like a post and thing. I would use your phone mostly. Oh, hi.
So we can invite, we got about 10 minutes yet. Anybody else want to come on and ask questions? Come on over. Keep the
We'll be-
discussion going here.
We'll be saying hi to Jaylee. She's there with Brandy.
Yeah.
Willoughby has his own Instagram account, so
Aw.
I need to do more with it. So
Mhm.
I'm taking notes and stuff. And so the question I have for him is, we'll follow him. They like the books and stuff, and they're my friends and all. Does he just, and I'm careful who he follows back. I mean, shouldn't the people he follows has something to do with maybe children's books or dragons, or because kids are not on Instagram. My grandkids are on there, but they're older, and so.
Yeah, I think if it's like for my account, I don't follow everybody back. And I really don't encourage that, not to be mean or to make people feel left out, but at a certain point, if you want your Instagram to grow, Instagram only allows you to follow up to 7,000 people. So let's say you have 10,000 followers, that's 3,000 people who you can't follow, and then they're going to feel left out. So I just, from the get-go, I just follow, I do follow accounts that are related to mine, but I follow people that I like, because I only have the one Instagram account that I use. So if you have a personal account and a author account, I would do what you're saying, like the author account, follow things that are related to your account, and then on your personal one, follow friends and family.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Can you keep adding to stories? I watch people that go to Disney World and they show rope drop to watch what they drank in the afternoon, and now they're seeing the fireworks at night. Is that all one story, or is that just story that's just showing up in the little bubble?
Yeah, anything you post your story will stay in that bubble 24 hours. So yeah, if I could show, right now, and then I can just keep posting throughout the day, and it will just be, what you're saying, like,
as I see it back to back to back to back, but she's recorded it throughout the day.
Yes.
Okay. That helps me on that way. Johnny, they're all shy.
It's okay. I just hope people have fun with it. It's really fun. And the best way to learn is to just get on your phone and try things out.
I love your message about focusing it, because that's what sometimes the politics stuff and the things, I get so angry. I refuse to participate, because I think my role there is to be an encourager. It's light, not to be divisive. So somebody puts too much politics on, I'm sorry.
Well, and you can definitely use different platforms for different things, because I do think that there is a feel for, like, Twitter seems to be much more open for those kinds of conversations. If you want to have those conversations, like, you don't have to, but Instagram, maybe not, but Twitter, sure, if you want to.
Yeah. And it's what's your theme? What's your brand? Like you said, you had to stay within your message.
Yeah, for sure.
I think
definitely be careful what you post, because always pray before you say.
That's good. Very good.
Yes.
Do you find Instagram to be still a popular, growing place, worth us spending time as authors?
Oh yes. I'll tell you, Instagram has been, it's not only my highest engaging thing, but and by that, I mean, like, I have Twitter, I have Facebook, I have a blog and a podcast, but most of my engagement comes from Instagram still. Okay. So yeah, they're not, Facebook owns Instagram. They're not going to let any other platform beat them.
I see that. Rachel, did you have a question that I interrupted? I'm sorry.
Sort of. No, you didn't interrupt me. I didn't ask it. I'm curious, what about being verified? Do you recommend that? No, the little blue check mark? What's the yes, no, why?
I think that you have to, I don't know how they determine if you should be verified, but I have a close friend, her name is Doreen Virtue, and she has multiple books on Amazon. She has, I think, 300,000 followers, and she's not verified. So I I think it would take a lot to be verified. And I think you would have to really be someone that they would see would have possible fake accounts mimicking them. And that's why they would need to verify that that is your account. So I don't think that that's something you need to worry about. Not you specifically, I just in general. Like, I think you'd have to be like a really big name to have to worry about that.
It doesn't look terribly difficult except for the last thing for Instagram. I mean, I guess you can do it. There's 2 ways to do it. I was just wondering if there's any benefits that you see to it other than people knowing that you're real or whatever.
Bethany saying you could submit things like articles and that you have public notice. Yeah, I mean, most of the people that I know that are verified have, they have hundreds of thousands of followers. They're a very well-known person. So if you are that, then sure. But it's not something I've ever thought about.
What about, okay, you said for writers, you recommended we choose creator versus author or public figure?
No, I'm sorry. So when you set up your Instagram account, and you can change this in settings, the type of account you have is either going to be just basic personal, or you can choose for it to be a business or a creator account. And that's how they'll show you analytics. Let me give you an example. And then what I was talking about, like public figure, author, that's something else. So if you go to insights, in your settings, if you have a creator or a business account, you'll have something there called insights. And if you click on that, it shows you it's telling me how my account is doing. So it tells you how many accounts reached. So for the last 7 days, so many accounts were reached, which was higher than my previous 7 days. So again, it just shows you analytics, how what age range are looking at your content, at what time are they looking at your content, stuff like that. And then if you go to edit profile, that's where you can see it says category and mine says community. That's where you can change it so that under your name on your bio, it will say if you're a blogger, an author. So those are 2 different things.
Okay, on mine, when I go to edit, the only choices are switch to professional account. So do you have to do that in order to be?
Yeah. So you want to switch. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then you choose creator or business.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. And so creator is more useful for authors.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So that's,
thank you.
Oh, same thing for Willoughby, because when I do that, yeah, I would switch that to personal account.
I would do professional. Is it a professional account?
Professional.
Yeah.
Switch it because he's, main character in my book series, but
Yeah.
his Instagram is all about where he is and what he's doing. Have nothing to do with the books, just to have fun with him. But that would still be better professional.
Oh yeah, because with the creator account, like the professional account, you can see your audience. Like here, I'll show you ladies, mine, because it's really interesting. It's fun. If you go to insights, once you have that, and you go to followers, it'll show you how many followers you have. And then it'll say even your gender percentage. So 92% of my followers are women, only 7 are men.
Okay.
These are the most active times of my followers of when they're actually looking at my account. So it tells you just so much. Here's age ranges. It'll tell me how many. So my highest age range is women 25 to 34. So it just helps you know who's looking at your account, when you should be posting, stuff like that.
So when I switch over, I'm doing that now, but I still post in the same way. I still do the picture. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
What other differences are there between a personal and a professional account?
I think with the creator account, and my sister can chime in because she might know way more than I do. I think that they do give you, because they see you as someone who's trying to be an influencer, either a micro one or someone who wants to be a legit influencer. And I think that they not only are they rewarding you because you get to see the insights, but that may be how you get bonuses. I don't think a personal account would ever be able to have that. Or you can do ads, or you can do like now they have like a collaboration button where I could, if me and my sister are collaborating together on one post, I could say, it'll say Jill Lancour and Bethany Jett together. So there's just different things you can do.
Catherine, you have a question?
I do have a question, because I have been in the last couple of weeks, Web 3.0 was brought up. I don't know if any of y'all have heard anything about this. It's the first I've heard of it. And it was instigated by Apple, because you know everything is. And Apple gave their users the opportunity to opt out of all third-party follows. So that means that anybody that chooses to opt out, Facebook no longer can track them and share that information with advertisers, which would affect Instagram too, because it's a Facebook, obviously, product. Excuse me, Meta. Anyway, they said that 88% of all iPhone users chose to opt out of being followed, and that is being expanded. And some countries are even stopping Google Analytics. You will not be able to use Google Analytics on your own personal website anymore. And they said it's a move to person engagement. Basically, we're coming back full round to where we were in the beginning. And I'm thinking about what you said as far as engagement, you know, the community, building your community, focusing on your community. And if that's just where we need to be shifting our focus completely, is the numbers just, because they're going to change tomorrow. What we're seeing. So have y'all heard anything about the Web 3.0 and how that's going to affect us moving forward?
I've heard a lot about the Web 3.0 through a couple bloggers I follow, and it is going to be more artificial intelligence, more us directly keyed, like you said, to our readers, our community, and all that. But from everything I've heard, it says don't panic yet. It has started, but we got a long way to go yet. So I would just put it on your radar if you'd see an article. I tell you, part of it is over my head. I don't understand it all. But every time I see a little article, I just kind of glance and I get a little bit more sense of it. It's a new era that in sometime in the next couple of years you're going to see. And I think it's a good question, Catherine. And it's something we probably need to do a writer's chat on sometime, but not now. I think it's way too early and it hasn't been fully birthed yet, if that makes sense. So,
but if it's the next evolution of the web,
it is.
Then all of this that we're talking about, as far as using these analytics to know how many people are watching and how many people are, it means nothing. The engagement becomes the priority. And really that's what you were saying, is engagement is what we're supposed to be after anyway. So if we just go ahead and jump ahead, leapfrog ahead to one-on-one engagement, personal connections, super fans, whatever you call your tribe, I think that'll make everything easier for us. Instead of trying to figure out the technology of it, forget the technology, invest in relationships.
I think that will also, it's also kind of important to keep that in mind and maybe use Instagram and stuff to drive people back to our websites and our newsletters, things that we control ultimately.
It's true. Like I every so often I'll put in my story, like, you know, here's my subscribe button, here's a link to my blog, in case, because that's a perfect transition into Leslie's comments about being canceled for sharing Christian content, because you're right, we don't control our platforms on Instagram and Twitter. And I was telling my mom the other day, because mine is a Christian women's account, I do post highly Christian conservative content, and you do get the radicals and the people who really hate that stuff, and they'll report your account, but you can't compromise truth ever for a following. or for book deals or whatever. So I would say not to worry about that. Like, God is sovereign and just trust him. And I wouldn't go looking for problems, but don't compromise posting biblical truth.
Yeah.
Let you be the last one because it's getting past the hour. So why don't you go ahead and
This is real quick. Are you a business or a creator? Willoughby, it's probably creator, right? Just because
Yeah.
he's the,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
I just hate making a mistake and
Oh no. Yeah.
change it, but
Yeah. It'll just give you insights.
okay.
While we wrap up, I'll throw it back to Johnny in just a minute to say goodbye and all that. And Jill, thank you. I will say that real quick while I still have the floor. But next week, we're talking about flash fiction with our own Sophia is going to talk to us on that. So I think that'll be a really interesting topic that I hope everybody gets into a little bit on that way. So Johnny, why don't you wrap up and then close the recording, and we'll invite everybody on for the after party.
All right. Well, we're really glad to have you all here with us. Of course, if you're watching the replay, we invite you to join us every Tuesday morning, 10 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Eastern, and check out our Facebook group, Writers Chat Facebook group, Writers Chat Facebook page, where you can see all of our episodes. I will let everyone know that we have decided that we will not be meeting on July 5th, Tuesday, July 5th. It's the day right after 4th of July. So we're gonna take that week as a break. But do come back next week for Flash Fiction. And all of you that are here in the community, we value you so much. And we thank you for being on. Thanks to Jill. So glad that she's with us today and to share these Instagram basics and for the conversation. And stick around for the after party. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.